Sunday in the season of Lent. And last week we talked about Jesus' time in the desert. And after he was baptized, how he was sent out into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. He was sent out into the dry land to be tempted by the devil. Each time Jesus was tempted, the enemy used things that he knew that Jesus wanted, because he had spoke these things out of his mouth. Jesus did. In his journey, he had said some things out loud that the enemy heard, and the enemy used those very things that he said out loud to give him. He wanted to give him. He said, if you were in pain or you're going through, you can take yourself down off this rock, and you will not, a stone will not hurt your foot. So he told him something that Jesus had said he was going through. So he told him, I can do this for you. I can make it all right if you just bow down to me. Then when he said that you got all these people that you're trying to talk to, I can give you all these kingdoms if you just bow down to me. He just kept tempting Jesus over and over again with things that, because Jesus came to save the world. And so he was telling him, he knew that. So he was telling Jesus, I can give it to you if you just bow down to me. And Jesus over and over again, he rebuked the devil with God's word this morning. And I don't want you to lose that fact this morning, that every time Jesus was tempted by the enemy, he didn't just make up some stuff and start ramming off in the mouth and telling the enemy this, that, and the third. He said he put God's word right back on the one who was tempting him. What you talking about, preacher? Every now and then you're going to go through some stuff. You're going to come across a situation that causes you to wonder what in the world is going on. And every now and then you got to just begin to put God's word. You said, God, that you would make me the head and not the tail. You said, God, that no weapon formed against me will prosper. You said, God, that I am yours and you are mine. And so sometimes you got to take your circumstance and turn it around with God's word. It is in God's word that we find strength. Help me somebody. It's in God's word that we can get the help that we really need. It's in God's word that we can find the deliverance that will help us get over some of the mountains that are in our lives. So we've got to learn how to put God's word back on our situation. You can't just go through life expecting God's word to just move on and supersede itself over into you. You got to take it and apply it to your life daily, each and every day when you get up. You got to thank God. Tell the Lord thank you. You got to let it know, I'm going out today into the land of the vipers, and I want you to know that I'm working with God on my side. I'm not going out by myself. I'm going out equipped. Help me somebody. I'm going out equipped for the journey that God, help me. I'm not just in the journey. I'm going out equipped for the journey that God has put me on. So I'm going out well aware of everything that's going on around me. So I'm not going to allow anything to cause me to stumble and fall, but I'm going to take God at thy word. I'm almost about to change my subject this morning, because at thy word is doing something for me, but I'm going to stay with what's on the screen right now. Sometimes you just got to take God at his word. And this text this morning that we read in 2 Kings of 4, chapter 1 through 4, it helps us, or helps me, and I hope it does something for you this morning. It helps us to understand we just got to trust God.
That's right.
Sometimes God gives us a little something. Sometimes it gives us a whole lot of something. Sometimes it gives us more than enough. Sometimes it gives us just what we need. But all you really need to know is that whatever you need, God supplies.
That's right.
Whatever it is that you need in your life, God's going to give it to you. It might not come the way you want it, how you want it, when you want it, but all you got to know this morning is God will supply. And so I don't want to be before you too long, and I'm going to try not to, but I want you to think with me from the subject. God more than enough. God did it.
That's right.
I would put that as a hashtag, but somebody might post that the wrong way, so I'm just going to say more than enough. God did it. Somebody ought to say something this morning. Anybody going through a little something? You ain't got to go through a whole lot of something. You're just going through a little something. And you realize this morning that you know that if it had not been for the Lord, this morning, you could have been dead. In fact, you should have been dead. Based on what you did, with the things you've gone through, you shouldn't be here this morning. But God has allowed you to see another day. And you ought to tell God thank you. You ought to let the enemy know that you cannot have any, you don't have any authority in my life. Even in my weakest moments, God is still good. The Bible says in my weakest moments, his strength is made perfect. God's strength, when I am weak, he is strong. Help me somebody. When I'm down and out, he can pick me up. So I'm not going to allow myself, you can't allow yourself to get so consumed with whatever it is you're going through that you forget that God is still God. The enemy in our text last week, he attacked Jesus when he was at his weakest moment. The text says that he sent him out into the dry land where the food was scarce and he didn't have all the things that he should have had or could have had. So he sent him out. And right when he was at his weakest moment, here come that obedient devil. Here he comes, going to creep in and try to give him all that he thought he wanted and try to give him a little bit. So what's the lesson in that for you this morning? Sometimes you got to know that when you're down, that's when you got to be your strongest. When it looks like you can't find your way out, that's when you got to lock in and let the enemy know who and what you're really working with. Sometimes that thing that you have allowed to bind you up and hold you down is the very thing that God's going to use to turn your situation around. So you got to know how to praise God when you're going through. You got to know how to give God a praise when the situation says I should be somewhere in the corner. Y'all missed that. The situation says I should go somewhere, hide out, and let the enemy have his way. But that's not the God we serve. That's not the one who created you. That he didn't know nothing about dark corners. He didn't know anything about hiding out. He knows a little something about steal away and pray to the Lord. He knows a little something about tell a little, call on the name of Jesus. He knows that he's got all power. He knows that he is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or imagine if you just call on the name of Jesus. He knows that he can work it out. So don't steal away into a corner. Fall down on your knees and tell God what you're going through. Jesus, in the text this morning, I thought it was ironic that in our journey to the cross and in this Lenten season, we go from Jesus being in the dry land in the desert to the transfiguration. That's usually what we deal with on the second week of Lent. And we deal with in my humble opinion, we deal with it in that order because it's important to realize that when we go out into the dry land, sometimes when you ascend or descend to your darkest moments, it's important then not to focus on the dark moment, but to then ascend to the highest point and be changed. Help me somebody. Somehow, when you get down in the pit, when you get down at your weakest moment, that's not the time to crawl up and crawl away. That's the time to flip that script sometimes. Jesus went from the desert and the dry land to the mountaintop in Mount Tabor. And when he got to the mountaintop, the Bible says that he was transfigured into a supernatural spiritual state. He went from a mortal body to a spiritual body, and his body shined like a radiant glow because he had changed from who he was to who he is now. And somehow this morning, you got to realize that when you are down, Holy Ghost, when you're down and out and you can't see your way through, that's the moment you got to change. Because watch this. Because in and of your own self, you would like to stay where you at and fight back in and of your own strength. But the Bible says the battle is not yours. But it's the Lord's. And so if you can flip the script sometimes when you're going through, if you can tell the Lord thank you when you're going through, if you can put a praise on it sometime when you're going through, somehow somebody on the outside will see a bright light come over you, and you have been at that moment changed. From who you was when you wanted to cuss them out, you've changed from that person to a new person, and in that person, God can use you. I feel all right this morning. I feel all right this morning. Sometimes when you're going through it, the trouble seems like it's knocking you off over and over again. That's not the time to, it ain't up here right now. That's not the time to throw in the towel. That's the very time when you're supposed to change and flip the script and let the Lord know, I believe you, God, because you said that you were going to be with me always. You didn't say you're going to be with me every now and then. You said you'd be with me always. The word said, lo, though I am with thee always. Help me, Holy Ghost. I'm not just here in the morning, and I'm not just here in the evening. I'm not just here in the noonday. I'm here all the time. And because I am with you, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. So I don't have to worry about what I'm going through. I don't have to worry about what they say and what he says. All I know is that God is my everything. God is my lily in the valley. God is my help in times of trouble. God is my ram in the bush. God is. Well, all right this morning, y'all gonna make me run. Y'all gonna make me run. I ain't gonna do it. God is my everything. And because he is, then you got to know that because he is, you are. through whatever it is that you are going through, God is your ram in the bush. He is the one who can, say it for me, Sister Woody, flip the script. He is the one who will turn it around. All you got to do is trust and believe that the one who created you is able. Let's get back to the text this morning. This woman who was going through, a couple of strange things hit me about the woman in the text. I don't want to mess y'all up too bad, but sometimes they tell us that folk in the Bible are black, white, or whatever they were. This woman kind of made me think maybe they got a good point about maybe they were not so have so much melanin in their skin, because she said, the text says that this woman was told by Elisha to take what you have and go and fill it up with some more. Go get some jars from your neighbor. Get as many as you can. It's for Elisha now. This is what he told her. This is what he told her to do. And when you get them, come back to the house, go in your room and begin to fill them up. Because when you finish filling them up, you're going to have enough that you more than need. But I need you to do something for me. After you fill these up, I don't want you to, because she was going to take the oil and fill them up and take what little she had and then go off somewhere. And her and her son, who was struggling to live, she was going to take him and her and take a little bit that they had and just die. So Elisha tells her to go fill up the cups, the jars with oil. She does that, comes back to the thing, begins to fill them up. And when she ran to the last jar, she had a whole bunch of them, mind y'all. She had a whole bunch of them. And she said that when the oil stopped flowing, she didn't have any more jars. So she took those jars and gave them to the man who, that right there kind of messed me up. She took the Lord had given her all that she needed, and then some. And she took what she needed, what she had, every single bit of it, and took it to the man, but she had more than enough. Help me, somebody. When God turned the tap off, she didn't have just enough. She didn't have a little bit left. She had more than enough. And she took what she had and gave it to the man. The text is saying the tax collectors had come to collect their debt, because in the Bible times with these folks, when the woman died, the husbands they had to pay the husband's debts, and so the husband had owed all this money to the tax collector. So he came to collect. That's the part that messed me up. If my she's just gonna be out of whatever it is she out of, we ain't gonna worry about it. We're just gonna move on. But this lady in the text, she wanted to pay off her husband's debts, and she wanted to make right what her husband had. So she filled up these jars and got it. And when they came to the house to get her to collect the debt, she had more than she needed to pay off the debt and then have. So her son did not die. She did not die, but the text said that she had all that she needed, and her son and them were able to live. What you talking about, preacher? If you put your faith and trust in God, if you turn to him when you need something, God's going to tell you exactly what to do, how to do it, and if you are faithful unto God, and you're willing to do what God tells you in the way that God tells you, because I know some of y'all, you want to hear that sometimes. God says go this way. You say, yeah, I go that way, Lord, but I can do it a little better. I go around the corner. God didn't say go around the corner. He said go this way and do this thing. And if you do this thing, I'm going to bless you real good. You're going to have more than enough. Somehow you got to realize this morning that in the midst of you trying to cut around something or get over something, God says, I want you to go through something. Why does God want us to go through some things? Because when you go through something, when you get through the valley, and when you go through some trials, and when you go through some tribulations, then you're able to withstand all the fiery darts of the enemy. Because they're going to keep coming. And if you are not equipped, help me, Holy Ghost, if you're not equipped to withstand those things that the enemy is going to throw at you, then you're subject to fall down and get knocked off your horse. But if you do it God's way, help me, somebody, if you're willing to do it God's way, God will provide everything that you need. God will turn your situation around, but you got to do it God's way. You can't make up in your mind, I got a better way, Lord. See, we can do it, we're going to get there, but I need to do it this way. No. You got to do it God's way, and let God do it, and everything. Oh, we getting there. Everything going to be all right. You got to learn to do it God's way. Ain't no quick and easy way to do what's right. Ain't no quick and easy way to go through some stuff. Sometimes your greatest strength is found in the valley. Y'all ain't don't back to y'all must have never went through nothing. Y'all ain't never been through or had a little trouble. Maybe I need to go down the street or something. But anyway, when you go through some stuff, Sister Amanda, and you realize that you went through by the grace of God, you don't allow these little temporary light afflictions to cause you to get knocked off your horse when trouble comes the next time, because you realize what? That they were temporary and light. Help me, somebody. Sometimes those temporary light things that they try to knock you off, you got to know whose side side you really on, because when you know whose side you really on, God will come in and work that thing out. You got to trust God. Stick to the plan and know that God is with you even in the valley. To look at your neighbor and say, God is with me. Trouble all around you, God is still with you. The mountains seem too high, God is still with you. The valley seem a little low, God is still with you. Even when the trouble, your bills seem higher than your pocketbook, God is still with you. When the doctor says something that you don't like, God is still with you. When your children act in some kind of way, you got to know that God is still with you. When you go out and you can't figure it out, you got to know that God is still with you. Every time you try to face an obstacle in your life and it don't seem like you can get over, you got to tell the enemy, God is with me. And somehow, everything gonna be all right. That's one of those points in your life when you know that you've shifted. You know that I was here, but now I'm here. Because I can give God I can put a praise on it. As I was like Karif would say, in the middle of it. In the middle of what I'm going through, I'm going to put a praise on it. Why? Because I want God to know that when I'm at my lowest point, I realize where my help really comes from. You got to know where your help comes from sometime in order that we might be able to get where God would have us be. Somebody ought to say something this morning. Sometimes when trouble comes our way, we spend, the Bible says that so much of our time is spent, as I think someone said something about it, as a tale that was told. We spend too much time complaining and doing things out of repetition, or just because that's what we heard our mama do, or we heard our grandmama do, or whatever. But if you truly love the Lord, you get excited about coming to church on Sunday morning. It don't matter who's standing here, you get excited because you realize that God allowed you to see another day. You get excited because you realize that God opened a door for you to be able to give him a hand praise. You get excited because you know that if it had not been for God on your side, you wouldn't have church, no partner, anything else to go to. Stay in the text. Sometimes you got to know what you're working with so that God can use you. You got to make yourself available to God to give God a praise. Why I want y'all to praise so much? Sister Amanda might be going through today. Maybe, just maybe, if Sister Carol decided she gonna lift up holy hands today, Sister Amanda might get encouraged this morning and feel a little better about what she's going through, because she realized she knows some of the things that Sister Carol is dealing with. So she said, ooh, if she can praise God in the midst of what she's going through, then I just know that everything's gonna be all right, because I know the same God that I serve, she served. If he made a way for her, he'll make a way for me. If he opened the door for her, he'll open the door for me. So I'm gonna stop and put a praise on it. I'm going to tell the Lord thank you while I'm going through, because I don't want the Lord to pass me by while he's checking on others. Please don't pass me by. I don't want God to come by Lord Temple this morning and decide we won't praise God like we should have been. We won't tell God thank you like we should have. I want God to know that every time I get an opportunity, I'm going to thank him. Amen. Tell the Lord thank you this morning. We get real excited about everything else but God sometimes. I ain't going to say all the time because y'all ain't talking about me. But I want you to know this morning, this lady that had this journey, before we get out of here, there's two stories. One in 2 Kings and the other is over in 1 Kings, where Elisha comes and he opens up the lady's heart and tells her to go out and bring back all this stuff. And she had went and got it and did it. She brought it back. And then Elijah, in his wisdom, did not take all of the woman's stuff, because the Lord had sent him, Elijah was sent to this place. And when he got to this place, and over in 1 Kings, I said 1 Kings, when he got to this place, he didn't have enough water. In fact, the text says that the brook that God had sent him to had dried up. And he said that the ravens would send him the food that he needed. But it didn't send him that. So this woman who was at the place that Elijah went to began to provide the things that the Lord had said that Elijah would have when he got there. And so I want you to know this morning that it doesn't matter where it is you are, what it is you're going through, what it is, whatever the situation is, whatever you need, don't matter how it comes or who it comes from, whatever it is that you need, God is going to provide. He sent Elijah from one place way over here to a whole nother place where he just told him. Elijah took God at his word. That's why I think I'm popping up in my spirit. He took God at his word, and he said, if you say go, God, I'm going. If you say do it, God, I'm gonna do it. I don't know what's on the other side. But he got to this place and there was water flowing like just a stream. But after he'd been there a little while, the stream dried up. And most of us would have made up in our mind, I gotta get up out of here and go somewhere where the water is still running. But Elijah was not given that directive. He said, go to this place and God will supply all of your needs. What you're trying to say to the preacher? When he got to the place where it was dry, after he'd been there a while, he didn't throw in the towel and try to go somewhere else. He made up in his mind, God said, go here. So I'm going to stay right here until something else makes a way. And somehow, in the midst of him waiting on the Lord, that's in the song somewhere in there, wait on the Lord and be with you. While he was waiting at the brook, the ravens began to bring stuff, and this woman who was already there began to pour into Elijah that which he needed. Help me, somebody. This stranger, she wasn't somebody he knew. She was a stranger to him, but she was sent there because the Bible says the Lord has prepared the way for you. The Lord has prepared the way for him in advance. Help me, Holy. Sometimes you have to realize that which you're going through is temporary, and God has already prepared the way for you in advance. He's just waiting to see if you're going to make up in your mind to do what thus saith the Lord. And if you do what he says, all you have to do is wait, I say. Wait on the Lord and be of good cheer. Don't you get sidetracked by the fact that the water dried up a little bit when you got there. Don't you get sidetracked by the fact that you've been in the desert for 40 days and for 40 nights you can't see out. Don't you get sidetracked. All you got to do is put your trust in the Master's hand and let God be God. And I promise you, every time you find yourself in the midst of or needing something, somehow, y'all know the story, Moses began to cry out to God. And this stuff began to fall, food from heaven. I don't know how you're going to get it. I'm just going to make a point that it does not matter what you need, God will supply. It might not come how you want it. It might not even come from a person that you know or a person that you like. But God will supply all of your needs according to his riches. And all you have to do this morning and in the time going forward is trust him. Know that whatever it is you need, God will supply. He's not like a man that he should tell a lie. If he said it, you can stand on it. Put a stake in that spot. Anchor yourself down. And just like the song says, my soul is anchored in the Lord. If you just let your feet sometimes be still and know that thou art God, and don't allow the enemy to cause you to get a little weak at the knees because trouble comes your way sometimes. Don't allow the enemy to cause you to get stuck on some stuff that you ain't got to business because he is trying to give you something that you don't need, but God has already prepared the way for what you really need. You got to trust God and know that if God be for you, say that again. If God be for you, the whole world can be against you. And it will not matter a thing. All you got to know is God did it. God can do it. God will do it. I'm going to trust him. I don't know how it's going to work his way out. I don't know if it's going to work his way out. But what I know is this, that the God I serve is able. He is able to do it. And even if, and I love this, Daniel, he messed me up for life. He said, and even if he don't make a way for me, everything gonna still be all right. Why? Because I know that he can. And if whenever he said in due season, in due season, God's going to work that thing out. In due season, God's going to turn that thing around. Now, due season might not be today, it might not be tomorrow. But what I know is that in due season, y'all ain't going to talk back to me. In due season, God is going to turn, he's going to shoot in that baby. He's going to flip the script. Look at your neighbor and say, he's flipping it today. He's going to turn that thing around to whatever it is that you have placed yourself in. And God, I said you, but I'm saying God has placed you in. That thing, God is going to turn it around this morning. If you believe that in this world you're going to have trials and tribulations, but you have to be of good cheer because God has overcome the world. It don't matter what it looks like or what it feels like. All you got to do is trust him and know. Somebody say it, know that God is good. And if you believe that this morning, why don't you stand on your feet and tell God, thank you. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know why you're going through it. But what I know is that God is good. God is able to do all things well. And if you trust him this morning, he will make a way for you. He will open a door for you. He will make the crooked places straight. Just like he provided for Elijah and Elisha when he sent him there, God will provide for you because he's the same God today that he was on yesterday. He's the same God today that he was before. And that God is able to make a way in the midst of the desert. He's able to make a way in your dry land. He's able to make a way when your finances are way past money. He's able to make a way when the doctor says you ain't going to make it today. He's able to make a way when your children is all out there. He's able. I want somebody to know this morning, God is able. He is able. He's able
Ain't enough. Somebody say God did it. And if he ain't did it yet, he's going to do it. Tell the Lord, thank you for the text. You can be seated if you can, but I'm going to ask you to stand about 2 seconds. But I want to say one thing to you that hit me as I was reading the text. If God, and it's, again, it says 1 Kings, not 2 Kings, and I think it's the 12th chapter. But if God said to Elijah, that I prepared the way for you. I don't want you to miss that this morning, because so many times in our lives we see God doing things, but we don't realize that what he's doing is preparation for what is to come. He's building us up for the obstacles in our lives. He's building us up to make us able to withstand all that we're going to go through. Nothing in your life happens by happenstance. God is always preparing you for that next thing in your life. And so this morning, everyone stand. And so this morning, I don't want you to miss the opportunity to see God. Not only see him, but know God. But that God is able, still able, to do